What's happening, folks? Um, I picked up Black Ops Declassified. You guys probably know what this is if you have a Vita. This game is not part of the Vita port system that the PS4 has become. And you can't say it had become that because a lot of the best games that were on the Vita found a port to the PS4. Um, that aside, the reason I want to talk about that is because whoever Activision, Treyarch, whoever the fuck is making these games, if you don't think Call of Duty can sell on the Switch, this game right here should be your test run. This motherfucker. This ought to be the shit you test the waters with because you can't convince me that every Vita owner has a copy of Declassified. You can't convince me that the game sold well on the fucking Vita. Because the Vita bombed. And I know a lot of people don't like talking about that. Oh no, he's saying the Vita bombed. It did. So, say what you want to about whether you think it did or did not, but the facts are what they are. The Vita stopped selling damn near 2 years after it hit market. If that's not a bomb, I don't know what is, because shit. The 3DS was a failure when it first came out, but then, it caught on and became popular. The Vita didn't. The Vita didn't catch on, didn't become popular, but within a small circle of people, I mean, that's just what it is. So, if you guys over there at Treyarch or Activision, whoever the fuck is making these games, do everyone a favor. Go get this game. This is a good game. Get this game here, put it on the Switch, and use it as a test subject. Because why wouldn't you? If you're, oh, well, Black Ops 4 can't run on the Switch, bitch, Declassified can. Give us this. Go pay the money you gotta pay to get it out of being exclusive and put the bitch on the Switch. Okay? And just so you're aware, I'm not gonna be going in and ripping apart Nintendo for not having the best security on the online thing and for being hacked after being only 24 hours alive. I'm not gonna go in on them like I would say PlayStation or Microsoft because Nintendo hasn't really ever fully dove in on a generation when it comes to online. It was an option for GameCube. You had to buy an adapter. With the Wii, it became like kind of a we'll just see how people adapt to going online with their games and figure it out later. And then the Wii U hit. They were not selling the Wii U, so they never really had a giant push or a reason to go full in on this online. So you could say they're just now doing this and be like, oh, I can't believe they're just now doing this and crying about it. But the 360 was said to have not wanted cross-platform games in the 360. Yet you gotta test the waters first. You see what I'm saying? Make sure it's good enough to work, which is why I think they didn't do that back then, and that's why I'm saying Nintendo, with their first run at online, gonna make a lot of mistakes. Can't be perfect the first time. And the reason I'm not giving them as much guff is because this is the first time they're going full in. This is the first time we're gonna see them online in the same way as a Sony or an Xbox. And the reason I give them more guff about it is because, bitch, it's been about 10, if not damn near 20 years for Xbox Gold and about 10 or so years for PlayStation. So that's why. They shouldn't be having any problems over there at Xbox or PlayStation. They should have the best of the best. And they don't. That's why I give them guff about it because had been doing this. This is not something new to them. With Nintendo, this is brand new to them. Yes, they had online play with the Wii U. They had online play with the Wii, and they had it optional on the GameCube. Yes, those are all facts. And yes, they've had it on the DS, and they've had it on the 3DS, the 2DS. It's been on all the DSs. But that doesn't mean that it was in even the same mention as a PlayStation Plus subscription or a Xbox Live Gold. because it wasn't the same. It was just like using your computer to play online. You don't pay for it, you're just playing it. So, I mean, that's all it is. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, you have to respect that aspect. You can't just expect PlayStation, or not PlayStation, you can't just, even PlayStation, you can't expect PlayStation or Xbox or Nintendo to get this online thing right the first time. Okay? There's way too much shit that goes into this online, regardless of who we're talking about. That is a whole nother level of technical fucking insanity that nobody except for the most tech savvy and smart person is really gonna understand. We're gonna just have assumptions and be like, oh, they should have been known this, they should have been known that, but we don't even know exactly the uh, the way that shit works. We just know what we get. So that's why you don't see me going in as hard on hardly any of these motherfuckers. When it goes down, I'm like, okay, you should have been known how to fix this by now. But like, real get like really digging into what's there. I can't do all that. That's too much time on my behalf, and I just don't care. And when, like I say, when it comes down to Xbox and PlayStation, they've been had this for a while. Nintendo is new to the game. You're not just gonna be able to copy and paste. Nintendo can't do that because that opens the door up for PlayStation and Xbox to go, hey, your shit's like ours. You feel me? And Nintendo does not need to feel like Xbox. It doesn't need to feel like PlayStation. Nintendo needs to be Nintendo. And they need to find their own identity. So let them make their mistakes. Let them do their thing. Don't go off the deep end because Nintendo was hacked within 24 hours. Realize, hey, this is their first time. They might need some help. They're just getting the groundwork. And I know everybody, oh, well, woo, 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 with this, you know, but Sony ain't had it right ever. And Xbox don't have it right neither. And I never jumped on neither one of their backs on day one about the network going down or whatever. I never jumped on their back until this generation because I feel like this generation there's really no excuse for Xbox to have any error or PlayStation to have any error, especially because they want to start charging motherfuckers. And like I said, the reason it's different with PlayStation is because again they've been knowing this way for a while. Nintendo didn't. Nintendo didn't have this for a while. They had it for 2 generations. It was completely free. You didn't do anything other than play a game online. They didn't give you anything. They didn't do anything. So they just had to play online. So you get what I'm saying? It's completely different. I can't go off the deep end for Nintendo having the problems. You might can, but I can't because I got to look at it from the aspect of, hey, if Xbox would have been had these problems when it first came out, that's when it first comes out. They don't know no better. Same thing with Sony. They don't know no better. But we're talking about companies in years have had this type of service. Xbox, there's still no reason. PlayStation, there is really no reason. Nintendo is half the cost of you, and that's for a family plan. I can let some shit slide, and I'm gonna let some shit slide because it needs to. We can't expect Nintendo to be perfect at something they have never done before. Anyway, I'm gonna get out this motherfucker. Deuces.